Morning all, and, well, whatever time it is. Whoever listens to this, whatever time it is, wherever you are. But another calorie macro rant for you all. It just grinds my gears when, look, I'm not saying that calories don't matter. It's not what I'm saying. I have tracked, like I've said before, calories for 10 years plus. I feel like I'm a seasoned individual when it comes to tracking calories, tracking macros, being a bit more meticulous and even say obsessive about food. What I will say is, I don't think it's the only thing that matters. I think it can matter in terms of energy expenditure, if you're looking at the body as just basically in versus out energy. If you're looking at food in that way too, this food is this calories, comes in, your body burns it at this rate, whatever. Like, if that's how simple you want to be about it, cool. And if that works for you, like I say with everything, no matter what diet or what regime you're following, as long as that works for you, gives you energy, makes you happy, you enjoy it, because I don't care what anyone says, I think you have to enjoy food. That doesn't mean eating garbage food all the time, because I don't think anyone actually really enjoys that. It's just that kind of quick pleasure mouth dopamine hit. But actually enjoy the tastes and the food and the environment that you eat it in. But that's not what today's episode, it's not about kind of the setting. It's more about, I saw one last night. I saw a video last night, and this is what kind of inspired this rant again. And I don't remember the girl's name. I'm not wanting to point, shade, or diminish anything anybody does in their profession, or their career, or them as an individual. But all I see, because I'm in the industry and my algorithm is based kind of around nutrition, health, fitness, all I see is the same cookie cutter PT giving out nutrition advice, which is fine. I have no issues with PTs giving out nutrition advice. Like, definitely should. I think it's part and parcel. But it has to be good advice. It has to be quality advice. So let's get into the story of what this girl was saying. Basically saying the standard kind of script that they use. It's not your hormones, it's not this, it's not that, it's not the fact that you're not eating enough, it's not the fact this, it's not that, you're not working, it's all because you are not in a calorie deficit. And giving her the benefit of the doubt, maybe, in some cases, if you have that data, you have the evidence, you kind of have, look, this is where my maintenance is, this is where I fall, if I go below that, I lose weight, if I go above that, I gain weight, depending on activity levels. Maybe. But to say this is my annoyance with the post, it's a universal post. It's not saying, I had someone like this, and they weren't doing this, and they weren't weighing out, I don't know, the poster boy peanut butter, 15 grams of peanut butter. It's saying everyone in the world, you will not lose weight unless you're in a calorie deficit. And let's even give them that. Let's jump back and say, okay, you will not lose weight if you're not in a calorie deficit. But to say it has nothing to do with hormonal fluctuations, it has nothing to do with individual bio-individuality, it has nothing to do with stress, it has nothing to do with the amount of sleep somebody gets, if they're a new parent, if they've started a new job, if they're generally going through issues. I don't get how somebody, and I think this person had like a decent following, I can't remember, I think it was like 20,000 followers on Instagram, which is pretty decent. I don't get how somebody so confidently, and I get it, it's the same content, it clearly gets views and likes because the same content keeps getting produced and people keep lapping it up and loving it. But I just don't, there's nothing that I would say when I'm dealing with clients, dealing with individuals, that I would say, yeah, this is fact universally for everyone. Maybe I would, no, even that, I was going to say maybe it even might change on like a mineral vitamin level when you're at different stages of your life. So like pregnancy requires more folate and stuff like that. But even then, women require more iron, things like that. But still, I would not go universally and be like, this is the thing for everyone. Because that's what the irony is. These flexible dieting, macro, calorie counting coaches, which they try and sell it as if it's something different. They'll try and sell it as, I have a plan. And the plan's behind a curtain, right? You got to pay to see behind the curtain. It's like the Wizard of Oz. You got to pay to see the guy running the show. But I have a plan, and it's going to make you lose weight and feel great and see your abs and have energy. And you guess what? Here's the kicker. You can still eat your favorite foods. And the favorite foods are often referencing aren't generally whole foods, right? It's normally donuts, pizzas, cookies, cakes. It's normally trash food. Like, it's never, you can now eat a steak. It's fine. You can now eat, I don't know, oatmeal. It's fine. It's just, it's so cookie cutter. I'll give you another example the other day. I basically, I'm not saying stole a client, but tried to lure a client over to me just with conversation. It wasn't my intention. I bumped into a gentleman in the gym, and I know him personally. He's actually one of the chefs at our favourite restaurant. But I know he's been on a fitness journey for the last 2-3 years. And I've told him multiple times, I think, again, this is just my thought, like, it's his body, he knows best. But I think he needs to eat more. And I think what the problem is that maybe he's been with different coaches, or because when you go on a weight loss journey sometimes, not saying this is him, but if you go on a weight loss journey sometimes, you can often get scared of foods. You can get scared of things, and that kind of just makes you into this kind of like box, and you don't want to eat anything really. But you're killing it in the gym, you're a dad, you're killing it at work, long hours, and your body can only handle that for so long. But I could kind of guess, just from speaking to this individual, because he said to me, your food looks amazing. All the food that you post looks great. I'd love to eat all that you eat. Why can't you? I post literally meals of steak, potatoes, healthy-based desserts, kind of like dates, being the sweeteners and stuff like that, yogurt bowls, dark chocolate, macadamia, berries. Like, I don't see why that's unattainable for anyone. That can fall into any healthy diet. And let me guess what your diet is right now. It's chicken, it's rice, it's broccoli, sweet potato, it's oatmeal, rice cakes. It's early 2000s bodybuilding diet. And let me guess, you're eating 5+, 6+ times a day. He's, oh my God, how'd you know that? And I'm just going to guess that potentially your coach might have a lot of you. And what I mean is, they have a cookie cutter plan that they will just funnel out to anyone. And you can do this when you go online and check what my macros are. Go to macro calculator, funnel it out. To the person who doesn't know anything about this, it looks really technical. Oh my God, he's worked out how much fat and protein and carbs I need and calories. He's a genius. Nope. Literally go online. You can find free calculators. If I was going to use one, I'd probably use the bodybuilding.com one, just because it's, from what I've experienced, the most simple. But they're not doing magical stuff where they're like looking at you as an individual and being like, okay, what's going to work for this person? What's their stress level like? How do they? They're not even asking the question. Do you like eating 5, 6, 7 times a day? Do you enjoy that? It's just, nope, this is a plan. Follow it. Oh, and let me guess, they're the cheat meal put in there as well, because, you know, you have to suffer during the week with food that you don't really enjoy, and then you get to kind of tease your inner cravings and tease your body with hyper palatable food. Whereas if you just ate food that you enjoyed throughout the week, I mean, I can't remember the last time I had a cheat meal, because I'm not or a treat. I'm not a dog. I don't give my dogs treats. I call them treats, but my dog's treats are literally meat. So like, it's still on their same diet plan. Nick Norwitz, the genius that he is, said something the other day, and he said, it's not a cheat meal, it's part of your diet rotation. I'm butchering a little bit, but I think I'm right. So it's not a cheat meal. It's part of your diet rotation. It's involved in your diet. Let's not pretend that it's not part of it. Your cheat meal's trying to separate it, right? It's part of it. And look, again, I'm even willing to step back and be like, if that kind of eating 5, 6, 7 times a day, sweet potato, broccoli, chicken, rice, oatmeal, if that is for you, and you enjoy that, and you find that sustainable, and that gives you results, makes you happy, do it. And having a cheat meal on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever, makes you feel good. I used to have a cheat day back in my days, my bro days. I remember I used to like literally sometimes eat food that I like didn't even like necessarily, not that I didn't enjoy it, but I think because I was just so palate and diet fatigued during the week from just eating bland chicken, rice, broccoli, you know, I've said it a million times now, sweet potato, oatmeal. I was so fatigued with that. I think my body was just like, give me Oreos, give me this, give me that, which I've got no craving towards Oreos, or I cannot tell you the last time I had potato chips. I cannot tell you. I don't know. I find them, if I was going to have potato chips, I would make my own. And you know what they'd be? They would be, in Britain we call them chips, fries. Like, I have fries a lot. Kind of the same thing. We parboil ours, rub them in a little tallow or butter or avocado oil occasionally, put them in the oven. Like, I prefer, and that's with a meal. The one thing that I am, again, do what you want to do, but I just, when it comes to mindless eating, that's the one thing where I'm confident in telling somebody I don't think that's a great idea. If you just sat by the TV, just slamming food into your face with a bag of chips or whatever, and you're not even, everything I'm eating, I'm very mindful of. There's nothing that I would eat and be like, I don't even have to look at it. I can just put my hand into this mystery sack and pull out said food and slam it into my face. That is, it kind of goes against everything that I stand for in terms of just food relationship and being aware and being conscious, and yeah, but regardless, it upsets me that you have trainers, and it is the most, I get it. I love data. I love stats. We are overrun by a world that is all about numbers and data. You have to be at work a certain time. You have to do this for a certain time. You have to do that. You wear watches. A smart watch. It tells you this. It tells you that. It tells you that. You wear a Whoop. It tells you if you work out or not. All these numbers, all this data, which, as much as I find it really interesting, it can get to a point where I think there's more value in trusting your gut, trusting your instinct. And that's why a lot of these you'll see a lot of these macro calorie counting folk really dislike, more than any other diet, intuitive eating. Because it completely breaks down their model of, wait, you can eat something that you feel that your body requires, and that can give you satiety without having to weigh it out. It completely breaks the model. Like, I've been 173, like 0.5, 0.6 pounds for, I don't know, 6+ months. Like, it fluctuates, but barely. And I don't track calories. I don't track macros. Occasionally, I'll log stuff just to, for me, it's more making sure I'm eating enough. And I'll tell you, that is because of years and years and years of diet culture. There's a fear still around certain things for me. And I'm working on that. Like everyone, I'm not perfect. But I realize with my years and years and years of building a strong food relationship, my years and years and years of building noticeable satiety, I realize what makes me full, what gives me energy, what tanks my energy. I realize all of that. And that's the one thing. I was speaking to somebody yesterday about this, about he'd gone through the kind of the same, like, tracking macros and just got absolutely fatigued out of his head about it. And he said it perfectly. He was like, yeah, you've been tracking your macros. And I said, yeah, like, right down to the gram. I used to be proud of myself. Being, like, really proud. Like, oh, yeah, I've got it down to, like, 283 grams of carbs. And I've hit it to the gram. That's so obsessive. But again, if that works for you, that's cool. Not judging you. For me, really obsessive. But he said a good point. He said, yeah, you get right down to the gram, and then you still be hungry. And that's the thing, right? Like, and that's where these calorie counting folk, and I'm trying to be nice, but this is where the calorie counting folk will say, well, that's just your willpower. You're still hungry because you're greedy. They don't say that direct, but they'll say it's your willpower. That's why you kind of gotta stay tough. No, the food that you eat should. We're aware that there's supermarkets and stores around, and we're aware that there's a fridge that has food in it. My dogs aren't aware of where their food really comes from. My dogs aren't aware of the fridge, so they get hyped and would probably eat an ungodly amount of food if I didn't portion it out for them. Because, and this is me speculating, but I think I'm right, but maybe I'm wrong, who knows? They don't understand tomorrow. And that's not calling dogs dumb, but they don't understand. They think it's all now. For them, they're very much still in touch with their primal intuition that food's not always around in the wild. And it makes sense to, if it's available, eat a lot now. Because food might not be about tomorrow. And that's kind of the way that the human body is built as well. But we're lucky, well, you are lucky if you have food available all the time. It's a lucky thing to have. Some people in the world don't have that. A lot of people in the world don't have that. But you're mindful that you know it's available. But then you get judged because you can't separate the two. And you've been eating flexible dieting. Oh, I had some potato chips, and I had some Pop-Tarts and Oreos, and I had a bowl of cereal. But I'm still hungry. Well, you shouldn't be. That was 800 calories. Yeah, but I'm still hungry. Okay, well, you've hit your calories for the day. So actually, no, you've hit your calories for the day, but you've got some protein. So you can literally afford some low-fat yogurt or some chicken breast. 0 fat. I used to do it. I used to be like, oh, I've hit all my macros apart from protein. And then just begrudgingly sit in the kitchen because I had to hit that protein number. Because God forbid what would happen if not. Just sit there eating a bland piece of chicken breast. It's make satiety great again. You know, like it just irks me out. But yeah, that was today's rant. I ran a lot about calorie counting because I think And again, just my thoughts. Don't get upset. Just my thoughts. We're all allowed to have our thoughts. But I think long term, it does more harm than good, to be honest. So, but yeah, they're my thoughts. Be interested in kind of what you guys would think about that, and comment below. Let me know. If you like these kind of rants, let me know about that as well.